short rest for episode 59?
See.
Okay, thank you.
I always make the joke that we can never make it to a milestone.
I don't... Yeah.
It doesn't matter when, what time of year.
We were going to hit 60. Damn
We
it.
are still going to hit 60. It's just delayed.
That's true.
No, I know, but like ever
no.
since 20, it's like a rolling joke with us because it's like we never hit another milestone like on time after that. Doesn't matter who or why, it just is.
It's just going to be a busy summer. Let's leave it at that.
Guys, welcome to the Feywild. A lot of shit's happening. I absolutely love the Feywild because I could just write anything I want, and it all makes sense because I could just turn around and you're like, that doesn't make... I'll just... Fuck you, it's the Feywild. I'll do what I want.
Well then.
Like talking to a treant, which is generally a monster and doesn't generally talk, but I can make a talking treant if I want it.
But why though?
But why? Because I think it's an interesting concept that a tree owns a pet.
A vicious one at that.
Yeah. Displacer beasts are not fun.
Nope. The displacer kittens are cute though.
They are. They're absolutely adorable.
As soon as you said you have a little paw thing, all I kept thinking is like, we've talked about this. Oh my gosh, you kept saying in there how cute they were. This does not sound cute.
No, this is a full-grown one.
Yeah, this is
Full-grown ones you don't fuck around with. Kitten, maybe. I think it's in the... Is that the Witchlight book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while I look for that, was there anything in this session that sort of stood out to you guys?
I really want to go talk to that
That
fucking
Jabberwocky?
lion.
The Jabberwocky?
How
Solid.
dare he? At first it was just like, okay, you seem chill, knowledgeable but chill, and it's just like, oh no, I don't care, you die now.
He saw some food, and unfortunately, due to his trait, he has to have you get wrong on a riddle. The first riddle, you guys kind of weaseled your way out of it because you were... I forgot what the answer was, but you were like, technically, you could do it this way, and I was like,
I thought technically you could boil an egg.
It's like, technically you don't have to crack the egg to get it for its function.
yeah, and so I was like, technically you are correct. Moving on. And then you got the rest, you actually got the rest of the riddles right. And so I was like, okay, well, the Jabberwocky's not going to attack you this round. But it doesn't matter anyway, since I rolled that the giant colossal owl was chasing it anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, I like also that the beginning was that, oh, here it is.
It's cute.
Seen that picture. It is cute.
Until it grows up.
Yeah. I mean, that tail still looks like it'd be something nasty if it accidentally hit you with it, but...
So all right, let's recap what happened the entire session. So first of all, you guys started within the Feywild, within the Bounding Grove, which was a facsimile of Cleedon City that was bouncing around the continent of Mostead, the Feywild version of it. Because Feywild essentially is a chaotic, magically enhanced mirror of the material plane. So it was bouncing around the area, which you guys firsthand experienced, taking 20 points of damage as it landed. And the funny part of that is when you're on a plane, you don't feel it, you know, and it's not until it starts landing that they tell you to strap in. So when you guys arrived onto the Feywild, you're already floating, moving to the next area on this essentially city. What? You're nodding your head like you disapprove.
I disapprove.
What do you say to
because I was like, I have 15 hit points after that.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I was like, she was already low. That's why I was like, fuck.
That's why we disapprove.
I'm gonna say it's not that I disapprove. It's just like, what do you say to that? I'm on this floating piece of land.
You also got there was a couple of, you know, minor kind of edible, magically enhanced items that were up an option. You guys decided to take the Wyvern Breath, which allows you to cast Dragon's Breath, the spell, once for free. Which is super helpful if you want something a little more elementally charged. You know, because you get to choose for Dragon's Breath. You can choose whatever you want.
All I know is this Jabberwocky's a dick.
You did. Then you started to make your way down through the illusionary forest, which once again, I keep forgetting you have that damn...
Yo, you're the DM. You put it up for sale. I bought it.
I know.
That's how this works.
I forgot, dude. And yeah, easily enough done. Instead of smacking your face 20 times with invisible trees and figuring it out, easily enough having the
No, the poor bear had to smack her a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
the bear had suffered the damage for us.
Leave the bear alone.
He did. I'm like, she didn't know better.
I don't blame her. Nobody does. It's like you can't fucking see an invisible wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is by the Jabberwocky, who I will also say, like, in probably mad respect, heard Rolly's puzzle and was like, I haven't heard that one before. All right, I gotta go. And just like didn't think about it, but definitely was like, this person challenged me. I want more.
Well, if he kills us, you can't give him more riddles to challenge him with. Just saying.
True.
Didn't even give me a chance.
You guys continue forward. Went to the Tin Man Market, which had a bunch of colorful
Heads.
characters. Yeah, heads.
I kept wanting to ask, I'm like, so where are they sourcing these heads?
Oh, finding them.
I'm like, the way people die around here trying to figure out shit? I don't know. Seems like there's a lot of them.
It's like, ooh, new corpse today. Pick up.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's a tiefling head. That's nice. Cut. Now we're gonna, taxidermy this thing and take it home. You had your interaction with the headless scarecrow, who I wrote in, if the players give him a head, he will give back 500 gold that he stole from them. So if you guys were just to leave and you were like, I'm gonna pay for that, and be like, oh, by the way, you have 500 less gold.
What a dick.
And I also wrote that he will steal from the person who was giving the most issue or whoever talked to him last.
So that's why he stole some from me. I was going to say, I'm like, what'd I do? Rolly's the one who was being a dick.
Yeah. You were the easiest mark because you were like right there. Also, with the catnip amulet, I also wrote down that whenever you want to summon a cat, it's never the cat you want.
Is it a different cat every time, though?
It's a different cat every time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So like if you're gonna be like, I want Binks again, and be like, a Maine Coon shows up.
No, because Steve hates hairless cats, so that was perfect.
Oh, perfect. I don't like hairless cats either.
I like those little weird aliens.
I think they're adorable.
I think y'all are weird.
Yeah, I don't want my pet to have like skin problems.
That's why
Shut
you put
up.
the
You
little...
wanted a hedgehog, and we were going to have to brush it with a goddamn toothbrush.
That's not a skin problem. It's a quill problem.
That is a skin problem.
Yeah,
They
it's a
have
skin
bacteria.
problem,
Mm-mm. I was like, you don't get a baby, a cat, and a fucking hedgehog.
I wanted one, but I knew I was never gonna get one.
Yeah.
All these things require levels of care.
That is true. You guys not only picked up the catnip amulet, which I think is funny also in a RP moment for Savannah. Just like I mean, we've given our cats catnip, and a lot of it is just like
They're
eyes
cracked
get
out.
wide, and they just go.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think
either
I'm
go
like-
catatonic or super fucking hyper.
That's why I'm kind of glad you said I just have like a little like reaction to it, because I'm like, please don't tell me I'm gonna be like high every time I'm around Rolly.
No, you're not technically a cat. You are a feline style. You're feline traits, but you're not a cat.
Cats, yeah.
I like the fact that you gave it like you have like allergies around it. You're like, could you please like sniff a little bit? We'll get into the last part. I think honestly, I know the Jabberwocky and this whole fight is sort of taking up all of our mindset, but the biggest thing I think that happened today was Rolly giving up his patron. In a very like, I felt like the moment clicked with Rolly because he saw Vera get rid of the
I've seen
tattoo.
you both have the oh shit moment, because when you said what dream, I was like, I can't give him anything with Blake because I don't know what the fuck's around here. Plus that bitch can hop planes. So I was like, Dendar. I don't know. That's a good one.
It opened a lot of ideas, but moving, I want to hold on to that one. Also, I want to answer a question here that you guys had. If you were to give your name to one of the bees would then, or that bee would have your name.
So you don't have your name.
And you would forget your name. Because he didn't ask what your name was. He asked, "Can I have your name?"
And I asked why.
No, I would have asked why, because
Wow.
suddenly I'm all like, is this being guarded by bees? So...
And the way I wrote it was that not only would you have forgotten your name, like you would know it, you just can't say it. And even if you tried to write it, it wouldn't come by. Even your friends or anyone who knew you were like, they would know who you are. Nothing's changed except when they go, "Hi." Like if your mother was like, "Hi, this is my daughter." Hold on. This is my daughter. And just have like a moment of like, just like stuck. 404
Doctor
error.
Strange nonsense is this.
What we should have done is give him a stupid ass name. So then that could have been his name.
No, I was already prepared to give him the fake name, so...
Oh, that would have been cool. You would have forgotten your fake name then. Doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be actually pretty funny for those who are looking for you as the fake name. They're like, "We found you!
You're a bee.
I know you, I just forgot your name." That also makes it very funny if someone's trying to look for you. They're going to be like, "Hi, I'm looking for this person. Their name is..."
Oh my god, that actually would... Character-wise, in a way, that would be perfect for Savannah.
Hey.
Irritating, but kind of perfect.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever want... It had some uses where it's like, if you wanted to change your name, you can do that. You know, and kind of like if you would have done, like, for Rolly, your family would have been like, "I don't know."
That's
I
the
don't know
shitty
your
part. Like the
name.
people you want to know your name is
People
like
you want to know your name, they're going to forget it, but if you don't want them to know your name, just be like...
Yeah. My name's Tom now. Okay, I guess your name is Tom.
Alrighty.
And then the Jabberwocky came by after coming through this sort of chasm of night and grass changed of colors. It was fun making that map, by the way. I had a lot of fun. And fighting essentially an Alice in Wonderland crew. I was making like the throw up sounds because that's where he was like expelling the Mad Hatter. And I just saw Temple go. Like, come on now. That's gross. That sounds gross.
It's just like, wait, what? And it's just like, oh.
Well, now I have to ask. I'm really curious. Steve, what did you have plans for Rolly now?
Well, I'm thinking about going in one of two directions. Yeah, spellcasting with barbarians, as I've discovered, doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was
So-
surprised when you went Warlock. You're like, "I'm gonna multi-class in Warlock," and I was like, okay.
So here's the thing, like I was looking into the Warlock class and there's certain things of it I like and I really would have wanted to use for Rolly. The problem is I'd have to invest heavily into leveling into Warlock to get them. And to be fair, they're gonna be things that won't really do me any good like right now. Whereas if I level up in Barbarian or I class into something else, they'll be better right now.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I said for you Dragon Sorcerer or some shit because it made sense for your backstory versus what you did.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to class into something else completely different. I guess obviously there's fighter, like that's kind of a easy thing right there.
You technically have 2 levels right now that you can spend essentially into something.
Yeah, so if not that, something that kind of gave me an idea of what I want to do is maybe we can narrate this into a more meaningful like story arc between myself and Savannah. A rogue. A barbarian rogue.
Wow.
Barbarian rogue.
Mm-hmm.
First you try to take my magical aspect, now you're trying to take my thieving aspect.
No, well, I'd be you, but better.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No, I would feel a different purpose. I'd leave the traps and all that to you.
Right.
You mean the thing I don't do?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
like, you mean the thing she doesn't check for?
Well, the
Yes.
I feel like Savannah has been checking for traps, and not only that, you've been making use of Felix for like locating traps when you're like, I don't feel like getting close. I'm just gonna have you do it.
That's because we keep yelling at her to do it, because bad things happen when we don't check for traps.
If I'm not
Yeah.
using Felix, I'm sacrificing myself. So technically, I'm still checking for traps.
And you can do it from a distance because of Mage Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Such a
Yeah,
useful
so-
thing.
I'm starting to think this is a rogue trope, regardless of who we play with, because just like how there's a horny-ass barge, there's a fucking rogue that don't check for traps.
We got other stuff on our mind.
Yeah, I also think that you're I think you're thinking of single moments, you know.
Oh no, I have lots of moments in my head, but I'm just like... But I mean, that's like what they gave shit to Laura Bailey for Jester being a cleric that never fucking healed. I was like, dude... I mean, you don't have to be like a stereotype of your class, but I mean, at least use the fucking features the class gives you.
I think more so that Savannah has been using her Mage Hand for checking for traps and picklocking.
And I would say, like, I also thought about Bard, but I'll be honest, if I'm gonna play a Bard, I'm gonna be like Wit 100.
I kind of love the idea of a roly bard.
I think the problem is that the only reason you're able to multi-class into Warlock was because of Dendar's boon.
Yeah. And
What
it'd be
is
the
your
equivalent-
charisma score right now?
It is a massive giant 10.
You need a 13 to multi-class into Bard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thought about it, but then, you know.
yeah,
I don't know what the hell.
you're kind of limited on what you can multi-class at the moment. You sacrificed it. You sacrificed it. But you know
Like
what?
I said,
I love it.
It wasn't like, just, you know, wasn't doing
Yeah, I mean, you're unable to cast spells while you're raging, which is a big pain. The only thing you can reliably rely on is use a bonus action to cast Hex, attack. Hopefully you keep that concentration up, and then the next turn you can bonus action Rage and keep the Hex up. Because you can't cast spells, but you can concentrate on spells, which is the biggest difference.
Right.
But again, that's 2 turns wasted for an extra, what, 1d6 damage?
Yeah.
When you could have just been using like a bonus action to heavy cleave through 2 people and do 20 points of damage.
And rock their world.
I keep forgetting that you have that you're immune to going to prone when you're raging. This is I think the 3rd time I've tried doing it where I'm like, and you go prone, and you're like, and go fuck yourself. I don't. I'm like, oh god damn it, I forgot. Yeah, it's very useful. Also, I'm very proud that Savannah is using the Arcane Hand as the trickery thing to grant yourself. You're all by yourself, but you're still doing some heavy damage with that. I think you took out, for Savannah, I think she took out a zombie that had about near 80 points of health in about
Damn.
3
Damn.
turns.
Oh damn! I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, because I think
You did that.
You did that. You were doing some solid... I think it has 70 points of damage, but regardless, you were like cutting down quick. I was like, oh shit.
He screwed me though. I could have had the last blow, and then he kept me there. I was like, I'll let him take the swipe, but you're gonna have to move. And he's like, nope.
I wrote down that he has Sentinel, and I thought it was super funny that he was closer to you, and I was like, oh, the rogue. Perfect. Sentinel negates disengage. It's like the rogue stopper. And then Vera's getting her world rocked right now.
I know.
I feel so bad that I'm making you make so many deck saves, which you're not. I think that's
I
your
don't have
lowest.
a mod.
No.
She's not doing bad. They're just not high enough.
We're in a moment where we have to balance reactions per round, because now it's like, who used what on what? I don't remember.
Yeah, I had to write down all my shit because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to remember this for next time.
Yeah. Where did we leave? I wrote it down somewhere, but I can't bring it up. The notes right now. Who did we leave off? Who just had their turn?
I think
You're the Jabberwock, no?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Jabberwock because he took 10 points of damage.
Right. No, that's 100%.
So you write it down because I'm not gonna remember.
Takes
I wrote that he minus 10 from his 60 that he can dish out, but that's about it.
I don't think he took a turn though.
No, he did because he had to make the save.
Yeah, but did he attack?
You're the one that told me before
I'll have
he
to
was
rewatch it. I forgot.
that he was doing a resistance, and then you said, "Oh, now he has to make the save."
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's the beginning of his turn. My question was, did he actually do anything on his turn?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
he
So
just
that
made the save, and that was it.
then I know where to start the battle in 2 weeks.
I don't like it.
Oh, and then you also ran across the strange symbol in the forest.
I feel like I could have probably bamped you to the village, but I'm like, none of us are wizards or fucking, like, I would not want to fuck with that shit over here. Be like, surprise,
Yeah.
you're gonna go to some weird ass dimension.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it for a second because I'm just like, wait, if he's some powerful being and there's this big transmutation thing in front, there's a good chance they'll just take us right to it. But did we want to risk that?
Well, you said it wasn't of like a school that we recognize, so that's why I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I think abjuration is teleportation spells. Because it's more like a defensive and maneuverability type of school. But it wasn't that.
Yeah,
It wasn't that
like,
school. Again, you didn't do like detect magic, so it's not like you're gonna get the school right away. It was just you saw the symbols and you're like, that doesn't look like what it should look like.
yeah. Because I was like, we've done teleportation before, and I'm like, and if it's not a school of magic that we would say, oh, like that looks familiar, it didn't look like any of them on the roll. I was like, oh, I don't know what that actually
No,
does.
it's not necessarily like it. You didn't recognize what school it came from. It's just not abjuration.
I thought you said it was like none of them. That's why I was just like, oh shit.
Actually, why I didn't use detect magic because you were like, oh, it's none of them. I'm like, well, I'm not going to use that.
Oh,
then.
okay. Well, I mean, regardless, it's essentially a strange form of magic that is not a standard teleportation spell.
And then we found those notes about like how you siphon energy. So I'm just like, what if that's just for energy siphoning and it doesn't actually take you anywhere? And it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm playing with, so I'm not gonna try and play with it.
Rolly did notice that the
Danger.
footsteps came from the center of the
Yeah.
circle and then went to the shack. And then just, you could presume someone probably rested there.
And he did also say he's living with the consequences, so
Yeah.
Like, honestly, from all the stories about, extending your life in time, it checks. There's always a consequence.
There's always a consequence. That's
life.
It's kind of the theme of this campaign, really.
Sadness.
Yeah, sadness. I can't wait because in 2 weeks you're gonna, obviously, depending on how things go, you're gonna learn more about, what's happening with the village and stuff. Because apparently it's southwards, almost like less than a day away. Because you already learned about Richard and how he decided to become immortal, which I feel like is out of.
this is the most pleasant out of
He's
other
reasonable.
versions.
Out of all the three, I feel like,
He's
and what's
the
been
most
hinted, he's the most reasonable. Yeah.
Miles though, fucking A. Crypt keeper over there.
I mean, going back to you suffer the consequences of your actions. Miles really suffered the consequences of his action.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good thing about Davis, if he's an elf, like, he already lived hella long, but I'm just like, dude, for a human to, like, honestly do that with no arcane or anything, it's just like, yeah, he's a crypt keeper.
Miles is creepy looking. He's essentially a skeleton.
No.
I always think back to the Lord of the Rings quote from Bilbo when he was talking about how his life got extended. He's like, oh yeah, like a piece of butter on toast that's just been stretched out too far.
Oh, that feels sad.
It's supposed to be sad.
It's so
Must
sad.
have been one big ass piece of toast. Jeez.
Yeah.
Our little sliver of butter.
I always equate Miles with Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas, where he's like essentially like this, and is really unable to move too much. Like he can probably move his arms a little bit, a bit of his neck. But the bed he lives in is the spider-legged crypt that he sort of sleeps in. The bed is doing all his walking and movements for him. And then he has his robotic helper. But yeah, I mean, things are being dropped. You kind of get an idea of what was being experimented with now, you know, and how this sort of ties into like maybe Davis's experience with the Feywild and how it could be utilized.
It's just gonna be interesting because, like, to Vera doesn't think that he knows who she is because she doesn't know who he is. Like, she's never met him. Like, I don't even know if he knows his brother has kids. Like, that's how big of a family tie that is. It's like, I don't even know if you know your brother got married and had children. 'Cause we never fucking seen you, so...
Questions to be had?
I don't think, like, my mom has seen him either, because there's, like, nothing of him in the house. It's, like, only, like, her dad seems to know, just because the relation.
Yeah. I mean, your mom knows of what's happening and where your dad is going on these random trips, which I also had to write into your backstory. It was like, your dad would often leave for business. Half of that actually was business, which is why he's so successful. And the other half was traveling to the Feywild for 3 days, 6 days, 9 days to locate, find more information, and do what he can. Which is why when you asked about the treant, I was like, he definitely would know something.
That's my phone a friend. I'm like, you lived here, you've been traveling here, so who the fuck do I have to look for?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I rolled a d20 and I rolled a 17, so I was like, okay, yeah, he's run across this guy before.
My thing I was thinking though, like if he kept, I mean, depending on where he plane shifted, like that would suck if each time he was that close to his brother, but the stupid Bounding Grove kept like switching, and I was just like, that sucks, because he's never found him. No. Like she doesn't know what info he has, like other than like what he told her. Essentially,
and this is sort of true how the gift that the leaf works is that you're able to plane shift into the Feywild without being affected by the time dilation.
Yeah.
But as you experienced yourselves, you were in Inneberry Island, and instead of being plane shift to a version of Inneberry Island, you were transported to wherever Cleedon City this Bounding Grove was. So you can only get a sense that your dad, every time he was teleporting, was being transported someplace random in the world, and he had to spread out and look for someone, a single person in this world. So that's why it was like it was taking him forever, because it was like for anyone it would take forever. But hell, you guys are story people, so you know things happen. Cool. Well, I think honestly, is there anything else, guys, that's on your mind, or?
No. Just got some time to think now.
Yeah, you got to plan out for what Rolly's extra 2 levels are going to go into. More barbarian, another fighter, some spell casting if you can. I don't know if you can.
Oh, that's what it's Draconic Sorcerer, I think.
But sorcerers are you need a requirement of 13 charisma.
There's that weird ass book if you want to look through it, the newest one.
I will. I'll have a decision to make.
Well, you've got some time, so let me know, and then we'll fix that later. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us for Short Rest. Able to answer a few questions, describe a few things behind the scenes. But until then, if you're watching this, we have one more week. Sorry about that, but we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.